What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a stressful week thinking about this car and the state it's been in. After I got it pulled in the garage, it has not moved at all. Been waiting on parts all week. So that all happened on Saturday of this previous week. I ordered all the parts on Monday. Today's Friday, just got home from work. I'm ready to start wrenching on this thing. Wanted to stop this video really quickly and interrupt for a second. Show some footage from last week when I shipped out some manifolds. And I have a really big announcement to make. Gen 1 Evo manifolds are now available. If you're interested for more details, hit me up on Instagram, ethan.g42. We now have Gen 1 and Gen 2 manifolds. These manifolds are the CSF Race X clones, so they're much taller than your standard billet manifold, more core space, much better cooling, better recovery, better IATs, everything. Comes with a port rail, comes with a phenolic spacer. Everything that you saw in the Gen 2 kit, you also get in the Gen 1 kit. But those are available now. I already have a few orders going. I'm going to do promo pricing for the Gen 1 guys. The first 5 orders I get are going to be at $2,000. And after I get those first 5 orders, the ones after that are going to be at the same price as the Gen 2 manifolds. So those will be $2,100 plus the PayPal's goods and services fee. But doing $100 off for the first 5 orders just to get those kicked off. Like I said, if you're interested, hit me up. Can do custom powder coating as well if you'd like on the rail and the manifold. Hit me up for more details. I'll send you an order form. We can get that rolling. Already have 2 orders for the Gen 1 guys. So at the time of recording this, there's 3 spots left. Not sure if that'll still be the case once this video drops, but just wanted to throw that out there. Hit me up if you're interested. This is order number 1 and 2 going out. We got a bunch of packing tape. I already checked the inside of the manifolds, make sure that they're all good. Obviously include a QR code for the install video. I'm also gonna put one on the box just in case that paper gets lost. I have a few more manifolds that are already at the powder cutter right now. So after those get back, I'll ship those out. Doing another group order for these manifolds August 4th. Do DM me though if you're interested in a Gen 1 Evo manifold or Gen 2 manifold. Like I said, August 4th, I'm doing another order of these. Cutting it off at 10 this time. Want to make sure that I can get these out efficiently and quickly. But let's get these wrapped up and sent off to the post office. I want to give a big shout out to Mike over at Extreme DI. Now, if you guys have been watching for a while, XDI is a company that actually sent me out the S58 injectors that are in the car right now. And then they also just sent out a fresh set of just the regular B58 TU injectors. These are OEM Bosch injectors. They're just in a different packaging. Now, we're 99% sure that the issue that happened on injector number 2 was due to debris getting in there. And that was due to not running a fuel filter on the direct injection side of the fuel system. Me personally, I was not informed or aware. I wasn't aware that people run fuel filters on the DI side. I've never heard of that before. I started asking around. I guess it's more common than what I thought. I was just completely ill-informed about it. So I'm sort of making this video as a PSA so you can add a fuel filter onto your direct injection side, or at least so you're aware of it in case an injector fails, you know why this is happening. Also, huge shout out to Mo at Racebox for getting these Precision Raceworks 360 ethanol fittings. Those came super quick so we could get this project done in a timely manner. Like I mentioned, we have brand new DI injectors from Bosch. They're just the standard B58 TU injectors that would come stock in this motor. The original ones I had were a little crusty, and then I upgraded to the S58 ones. And now I don't need the S58 ones because I have all the port injection. So I'm just going back to these ones. It's just a cheaper option. It wasn't a defect with the injector. It was not a tuning issue. This was simply due to debris getting in the injector and getting stuck open. Lesson learned, hopefully not an expensive one, because at the end of this video, we're gonna be doing a compression test to find out if the motor is gonna be okay after we repair all this stuff. Yeah, new injectors, got these 360 fittings. These are the 3/8 size. So 3/8 on this end, and then 3/8 barb on that side as well. We also have some stuff from Racetronics once again. It's a 3/8 to 3/8 connector, and then barbs for the end of this. This is a Deechworks compact fuel filter. So it's pretty small compared to the other fuel filter I had if you watched the port injection video. This is a compact version of a fuel filter, and it just has 8 ORB fittings on both ends, which is why I had to get these from Racetronics. These are the -8 ORB to 3/8 EFI barb on that end. And I'll show you guys how I'm gonna set all this up here in a second. Gonna get this all torn apart. You guys have seen this done in a previous video, so I'm not gonna go over it again in depth on how to do that. But gonna get all the shielding taken off, get the ethanol sensor out from back behind the manifold. And then I'll replace all of these injectors. And then the last thing I'm waiting on is spark plugs. I'm gonna throw in my old set of spark plugs just so I can get a baseline, make sure that everything's running correctly after I do the compression test and all that checks out. I'm gonna show you how to route all this so you can keep it as compact as possible back there. Got all of the cowling off now. Gonna follow this line and take out the flex fuel sensor. This is the aftermarket line. Yours will look a little bit different if you're using the OEM one. already. And this is the fuel line off the car. This side goes into the high pressure pump, and this is kind of how I had the ethanol set up before. And I'll kind of give you guys an idea of how we're gonna lay this out now with the new parts. Let me get everything unboxed and assembled really quickly here. Got the 8 ORB to 3/8 EFI, and then all, like I said earlier, all of these are 3/8. So this will slide onto there. This will slide onto there. This end will connect to the feed line, and you'll notice the flow of the fuel filter. So then it'll go up through here, around into there. And then this end will go to right here. And after it's all assembled, it came out to 31 inches. So this might be too short. Trying to think of how else I could do this, but this was kind of my idea. I guess I did the math wrong. We'll see if it fits up, I guess. This might be a dud though. Let's see. And with some struggle yesterday, I figured out the exact way to do this. This is how I'm gonna have it set up. So that hard line can't really move anywhere, but and this goes on there. And then this ethanol sensor actually comes out the top like this. So it'll end up sitting in the engine bay like that. And then I needed a way to get from here to this piece right here, the factory line. And both the factory line as well as the aftermarket line were not long enough, so I'm custom making my own AN hose. Shout out to Tony, if you're watching this video. Huge thank you to you. You saved the day on this one. Amazon didn't have anything that I could overnight, so he had some Vibrant 6AN sitting around. And then I ordered these overnight, which are EFI fittings. So this one's a 3/8 EFI to 6AN, and then I have a 5/16 to 6AN. So the 5/16 will go on this end, and then the 3/8 will go on this end. I'll just make a hose from there, which will connect to there. And then I'll have a 90 right here. So it'll run like that. And then I should be able to replace the injectors after that, and we're on the home stretch. So I got the line coming to the ethanol sensor, coming all the way around here. And I have it taped off where I'm gonna cut it, and then that 90° will go right here. So yeah, let's make this line really quick. Alrighty, AN line is made. That connection's already on there. Got this end. We'll just slide it on there, and it should be good. Okay, that is a snug fit, but it does all fit in there. I know it looks like the flow is going backwards, but it's actually going the correct way. I've confirmed. It just loops around there. But PI's hooked back up, DI's fully seated. Got that coming to there. Yeah, we're all golden. Time to swap out these injectors and do a compression test. So a little update here. It is the next day. We're getting ready to compression test it. It's still misfiring on cylinder 2. Replaced it. It wasn't a new spark plug, but I replaced it with one of my old spark plugs, and it's still fouling out the plug. It's still coating it in fuel. So next step is the compression test. I was hoping that it didn't have to get this far, but I have all the injectors unplugged, all the coil packs are out, all the spark plugs are out. That's the proper way to do a compression test. The compression test kit I got from Harbor Freight did not fit. You have to get a little bit more of an extended adapter. The ones that come with the Harbor Freight kits are a little bit shorter. As you can see, this one's a little bit more extended. This piece is what we're looking at here. It's just a little bit more extended for the deep well in the spark plug hole. So this kit does fit. It is the 3612 compression tester from Advanced. So I'm gonna start off with cylinder 1, screw this in, attach that to it, and then we'll crank it over 5 or 6 times and see where it tests at. Hopefully all of them are the same. Then the next step would be to replace coil packs, because that's the only other really thing it could be. Done new spark plugs, done new injectors. Compression test would be fine, so next coil packs. So you just take the 12 millimeter adapter and you'll screw it into the spark plug hole. Make sure it's tight. Then take your gauge. Take your gauge and click it in there. Not sure if there's a good way to capture this one, but we're hoping this is above 180, pretty much. You want it to be above 180, probably around 190 is my guess, is what they all should be around. Higher's better, but lower than like 170, probably need to look further. I don't know if I've ever been so nervous for something to do on a car. Okay, gonna go start it. I mean, the damage is done, it's already been done, so here we go. What does this one test at? This one's at 190, cool. Move it to the next one, which if there's an issue, it's probably gonna be on this cylinder, to be honest with you. So if this one's low, that's how we know we have an issue. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. And gauge right there. All right, here we go. Fingers crossed. What are we looking at? Oh, that one's even higher. Okay. No, this is good. Oh my God. Okay, let's test the rest of them. Alrighty, with all cylinders testing all within safe range of each other, the only other things I can think of was coil packs. I swapped coil pack 1 and 2. The misfire did not follow. It's still misfiring on cylinder 2, so the only other thing I can think of is maybe a PI injector is now stuck open. I know for a fact a DI injector was stuck open because the rail pressure was dropping. It's no longer doing that. Maybe also just bad timing, got a PI injector stuck open, or it's just spraying a little bit. So I'm gonna swap out 2 and 1 on the PI side and see if the misfire falls. If not, I'm kind of out of ideas here. Swap spark plugs, I've swapped coil packs, I've done new injectors, compression tested. Last thing I can think of is that it'd be a PI injector, just putting fuel into the cylinder, but I'll swap those over and see what it does. So I'm relatively confident that this is gonna be the issue with the port injector. So somehow the DI injector and the port injector failed. I don't even know if it was injector 2 necessarily on the direct injection side now. It had to have been one of them because it was losing rail pressure. So there was for sure a direct injector that failed. I have the log to show it. But also maybe a port injector failed somehow. Or maybe the DI injectors were already on their way out and they were already leaking. And then the port injector failed and that just, caused all these issues. And then I noticed it after that, something like that. But I'm pretty confident that by swapping these two, it's going to tell me that, yeah, the misfire is going to move to cylinder 1 now. Pretty confident in that. When I took out the port rail, there was fuel leaking out of port injector number 2. And those injectors should be closed unless there's a power going to them. So I'm pretty confident that injector 2 is leaking. Well, we found the next issue. It was that port injector. So it moved to cylinder 1 now. So yeah, need to order a new ID 1050 cc injector. I was told that those were pretty reliable. I'm not sure how this happened, but yeah, it has a fuel filter on it. I don't know, a little bit frustrated, but I'm gonna order that. I'm gonna throw another set of new plugs in it, and then fingers crossed this issue gets fixed. At least the motor's okay. It was my biggest worry. So gonna get online and one, see if these things have a warranty, because that'd be nice. These things probably have less than 300 miles on them. And then see if I can't get a new injector ordered. Throw that in the next video, make sure that everything's running right, and then continue tuning. Appreciate you guys tuning into this one. Sorry it wasn't more eventful, but at least I think we did figure out the issue this time. Aren't cars just so much fun? Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.